Walmart has the lowest prices in America. At least that's what everyone believes. Here's the brutal truth that nobody's telling you. Some of the products on those shelves should have never been put there in the first place. They definitely shouldn't end up in your kitchen. And every single person responsible for designing and selling these items should have to answer some very serious questions. If you have any of these products in your kitchen right now, you need to stop eating them immediately. There are certain lines that should never be crossed. I'm talking about products that pretend to be healthy but are actually full of junk. I'm talking about products with ingredient lists that look like the chemical formulas on a bottle of cleaning fluid. Products with less meat content than you'd find in dog food, and labels that lie straight to your face. I'm telling you this as a dietitian with 10 years of experience, and as someone who sees what people put into their shopping carts every single day. I'm not going to stay silent any longer because I care about your health, your children's health, and your money. My name is Michael Rzosek, and this is going to be the most explosive video about the food at Walmart you have ever watched. The worst offender on this list is something that almost everyone has in their fridge right now. When I tell you what it is, you'll never look at it the same way again. The chances are you've already been fooled by it at least once. You need to stay until the end, because these mistakes could be costing you hundreds of dollars a year. And some of them don't just affect your wallet, they impact your health and your time. Before we get to the list, please hit that thumbs up button. It only takes a second, and it helps other smart shoppers find this content. If you want to get more advice like this on a regular basis, subscribe and turn on your notifications. All right, let's kick things off with number 10. Number 10 is a product you see every single day in the store. Most people toss it into their cart without a second thought. They absolutely shouldn't. I'm talking about the packaged breakfast rolls from Walmart. When you actually check what goes into these rolls, you'll find wheat flour, which sounds fine so far. But then you discover a ton of sugar and fat hidden inside. These seemingly innocent little breakfast rolls contain 12 grams of fat per 100 grams and a staggering 15 grams of sugar. Think about that for a moment. You're buying something thinking it's just a simple bread product. It turns out you're getting 15 grams of sugar per 100 grams. That's the equivalent of 3 full teaspoons of sugar in one small serving. An entire package contains 60 grams of sugar. That is 12 teaspoons of sugar in a single pack of breakfast rolls. Most people would never dream of dumping 12 teaspoons of sugar into their morning coffee. Yet they're eating it hidden in their bread, completely unaware. I would never ever eat this for breakfast. I would absolutely never give this to my child. When you reach for those rolls tomorrow morning, remember what's really inside. Your body deserves better fuel to start the day. Real bread doesn't need all that sugar. Real bread gives you energy without a hidden dose of sweetness that works against your health goals. Number 9 takes us down the snack aisle, where things get even worse. These wafer cookies from Walmart list palm oil as the very first ingredient. Stop and think about what that really means. An ingredient list shows you what's in a product from the most to the least. Palm oil is number 1. Not flour, not anything resembling real food. Palm oil completely dominates this product. After that, you get wheat flour and sugar trailing right behind. A single package of these cookies contains over 2,500 calories. Almost 200 grams of sugar are hiding in that one package. Think about what happens when someone buys this. Your friend comes over on a Saturday afternoon, you make some coffee, sit down to chat, and the whole package just disappears in one sitting. This happens all the time in homes all across America. I absolutely despise these huge packages of sweets. People buy these giant bags or multi-packs because they see a good deal. They tell themselves it will last a while, but that supply for later is gone by the day after tomorrow. Let's be honest with ourselves. When you have massive amounts of junk food in the house, it's almost impossible not to eat it. The sheer size of the package becomes a trap. Your brain doesn't register the calories the same way when the food just keeps coming out of a giant bag. Before I reveal product number 8, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss my tips on what to buy and what to avoid at your favorite stores. Number 8 is the Tyrolean-style luncheon meat from Walmart. And when I say luncheon meat, I mean any lunch meat with an equally tragic ingredient list. This particular product contains only 68% meat. That might sound acceptable until you realize what's filling the other 32%. The list of ingredients goes on forever with additives and food fillers. Starch, glucose, stabilizers, sodium nitrite. All of these things are taking up space where real meat should be. You'll find more fat than protein in this stuff. It has 16 grams of fat per 100 grams and only 12 grams of protein. Lunch meat is supposed to be a source of protein. This one fails at its most basic job. Here's what you need to understand. Processed red meat like this is classified as a carcinogen by major health organizations. When you choose this meat for your sandwich, you're not just failing to get enough protein, you're also putting something on your bread that can have serious health consequences down the road. Good quality lunch meats should have at least 90% meat. They should contain at least 20 grams of protein per 100 grams. And ideally, they shouldn't contain any sodium nitrite at all. Now you know which lunch meats to avoid. Make sure you're checking those labels before you buy. Number 7 is a product that particularly irritates me. According to the box, it's a dietary supplement. The packaging shows beautiful, ripe raspberries looking fresh and healthy. Additional information on the front boasts about vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B6, and zinc. Without checking the ingredients and nutrition facts, you'd be led to believe you're buying something truly healthy. A product to support your immune system, a product that adds real value to your diet. Plus, there's a claim that it mixes easily with any kind of water. This raspberry-flavored syrup from the discount grocery store has sugar as its very first ingredient, followed by water, and then finally you get to the concentrated raspberry juice. But how much actual raspberry is in this entire bottle of syrup? 0.35%. Let that number sink in for a moment. Less than half of 1% is real raspberry. Yes, it contains some of those vitamins the manufacturer proudly plasters all over the packaging. But that is absolutely not a good enough reason to buy what is essentially liquid sugar to pour into your water. If you want to get vitamin C into your system, just eat a bell pepper or some strawberries. Those foods give you vitamins along with fiber and a host of other nutrients. If you want zinc, go for some whole grain rye bread. Supplements packaged in sweetened water are never the answer. They create the illusion of a healthy choice while actively working against everything you're trying to achieve. Now let me make something important crystal clear. The discount store doesn't just sell bad products. In this video, I've put together a black list of items that I personally would never buy. You can absolutely find plenty of healthy options at a regular grocery store. A healthy diet doesn't require you to buy expensive, fancy organic superfoods from specialty health food shops. Normal, everyday food works perfectly well when it's combined correctly to create balanced meals. By using regular products available everywhere, you can lose weight and feel great. This is what I teach in my programs. It's what I help people achieve every single day. Now let's continue with the list, because the next products are just as problematic. Coming in at number 6 is a product that genuinely horrified me when I took a closer look. The first 3 ingredients in this product are sugar. Different kinds of sugar, but sugar nonetheless. I am being completely literal and 100% honest when I say I was in shock looking at this label. This product is a granulated, raspberry-flavored iced tea mix with vitamin C from the same discount store. They added that vitamin C just to make it seem healthier, and of course, this little health halo tricks so many shoppers. The ingredients list reads like this: sugar, glucose, cane sugar, and then an acidity regulator, which is citric acid. 3 types of sugar before you see anything else. The raspberry juice content is a measly 0.5%. The tea extract, that's at 0.1%. There's almost nothing in here that actually resembles the product's name. What you're really buying is a mix of different types of sugar for about $4 for a 2-pound container. Is it worth it? In my opinion, it is absolutely not. Reading the ingredients and nutrition facts on the products you buy is always worth your time. Looking at this information can be truly terrifying sometimes. Once you start checking labels, you can't unsee what manufacturers are trying to hide. Number 5 honestly just made me angry, and I'll explain exactly why. I'm talking about these kid-friendly breakfast cereals from the discount store. The design of the box is clearly aimed at children and our youngest consumers. Bright colors, cheerful cartoon characters. Everything is designed to catch a child's eye. Little Sprout seems to be a brand that markets its products specifically to children. Parents trust it because it looks healthy and kid-friendly. But when you check the nutritional information, especially the sugar content in this breakfast cereal, you find something truly shocking. This cereal contains the most sugar of any breakfast option available at Aldi. 77 grams of sugar per 100 grams. Over 1/4 of the product's weight is pure, refined sugar. The manufacturer proudly displays the words whole grain on the packaging. That phrase is meant to suggest health, fiber, and good nutrition. But in reality, there isn't much whole grain flour in there at all. The very first ingredient is just plain refined wheat flour, making up 71% of the product. It's only the second ingredient, whole wheat flour, that comes in at a mere 26%. Seriously, if we're going to make cereal for our kids, let's make a healthier version. Let's not create the one with the highest amount of sugar out of all the available options. This box ended up right back on the shelf where it should stay. Kids deserve better. Parents deserve honest marketing. And as a little bonus, I'll tell you that the other breakfast cereals there are just as tragic. Different brands, similar problems. I definitely wouldn't buy any of them. Number 4 is something you can easily whip up at home in literally 2 minutes. I'll even leave a link to a simple recipe in the description below this video. You can buy it pre-made in the store, of course, but I absolutely do not recommend it. I'm talking about the bacon egg salad from Aldi. Why don't I recommend it? When you check what's actually inside, the very first ingredient is canola oil. Just think about what that means. You're buying a spread that's supposed to be bacon egg salad. The name on the label promises eggs and bacon. The reality is that you're mostly getting oil. Where is the logic in that? I'm really struggling to see it. After the oil, you finally get to the eggs on the list, and you get a little bit of the promised bacon, but you also get a ton of additives designed to extend the shelf life and cut down on costs. You could make this yourself at home in 2 minutes flat. Just boil some eggs, chop them up, add real pieces of bacon, and mix it with a small amount of mayonnaise. That's it. The price of this store-bought spread seems absurdly high, coming in at around $4.50 a pound. Now let's check how much a bottle of oil costs. A big bottle of canola oil might cost $3.50. You're paying a premium for something that's mostly cheap oil dressed up as a deli-style product. Number 3 is another product that should never have made it onto store shelves. It's the prepackaged donut from Aldi. A single one of these donuts contains over 500 calories. That's roughly 1/4 of what many people need for an entire day, all packed into one small pastry. I'm not even going to read you the ingredients list because it's longer than a classic novel. It's just chemicals after chemicals, followed by additives, and then more preservatives. One little donut has almost 6 teaspoons of sugar. Yes, you heard that right. A single donut injects nearly 6 teaspoons of sugar into your body. It's a terrifying calorie bomb that has no business being there. The same thing goes for their potted meat products, with their absolutely tragic lists of ingredients. The chicken and pork potted meat, for instance, claims to be made from chicken and pork. Sounds simple enough. The very first ingredient is water. Then you get chicken skins. Not chicken breast meat, not any kind of regular chicken meat, not the parts you'd actually want to eat. Chicken skins. After that comes pork liver. Then mechanically separated chicken. There isn't even any real chicken in here. You're getting skins and then mechanically processed parts scraped from the bone, plus a whole lot of other additives just to hold it all together. As you might guess, this product has barely any protein, just 6 grams per 100 grams, for something that calls itself a meat spread. That amount of protein is pathetic. I wouldn't recommend this to my worst enemy. Your body can't build or repair itself using water and chicken skins. Number 2 hits close to home because I absolutely love coffee. I love starting my day with a delicious espresso. That morning ritual sets the tone for everything that follows. But what I'm about to show you is not coffee. The 3-in-1 coffee mixes from the grocery store, and similar instant cappuccino products have to be exposed. You'd better sit down because what you're about to hear might knock you over. The first ingredient is sugar, then glucose syrup, which is just another form of sugar. Then fully hydrogenated palm kernel oil, which is basically palm oil. The first 3 ingredients are sugar, and palm oil. 3 ingredients that have absolutely nothing to do with real coffee. The actual coffee does finally show up somewhere on the ingredients list. It makes up 4.6% of the product. Less than 5% of it is the thing you thought you were buying. Other versions of these instant coffee drinks aren't any better. Similar formulas, similar problems, similar disappointments. If you're wondering why a nutritionist is walking through a Walmart, calling out what to buy and what to avoid while reading product ingredients out loud, here's why. Healthy food and healthy eating begin with your shopping trip. The choices you make in these aisles decide what goes into your body for the entire next week. I get countless messages from viewers saying that thanks to these videos about what to buy and what to avoid, people are buying less junk and more quality food. Just by following shopping tips like these, they're losing weight and feeling better without having to follow complicated diets. Those are the kindest words I could ever hear. They motivate me to keep working and to keep making these videos. One thing I would never buy if I wanted to be healthy and look good is pre-made products like hot dogs and processed convenience meals. You've got mechanically separated meat, refined white buns, processed red meat, zero vegetables, and zero nutritional value. It's pure garbage in a convenient package. These products exist to save you time, but they end up costing you your health. Now we get to the last and most surprising product on this list, the one that might actually change the way you do your grocery shopping forever. Number 1 might actually shock you. It's a product that almost everyone has in their refrigerator right now. It's a product you probably bought this week without even a second thought. The giant multi-dozen egg cartons from a big box store like Walmart. That's right, eggs. 30 eggs for just $5, a staple food found in every kitchen across America. But here are the things Walmart won't tell you about those value packs of eggs. First, these mega packs almost always contain eggs from hens raised in conventional battery cages. While you might not see a code printed on the shell, the carton tells a story if you know how to read it. These hens live their entire lives crammed into tiny cages without access to natural light. They spend their days unable to move freely, stretch their wings, or engage in any natural behaviors. They're often pumped full of antibiotics just to prevent the spread of disease in such cramped, stressful conditions. The taste of these eggs directly reflects their origin. It's flat, watery, with pale, sad yellow yolks instead of the rich, vibrant orange you see in a healthy egg. Second, a pack of 30 eggs is a huge quantity for most households. The average family might use 10 to 15 eggs a week. By the time you get to the end of that carton, the oldest eggs could be 3 weeks old or even more. Old eggs don't just taste worse, they pose a real health risk that increases over time. Think about this scenario. You buy the 30-egg carton on sale, feeling pretty good about the deal you just got. You saved a few bucks. Smart shopping, right? 2 weeks later, you crack an egg into the frying pan and you notice that smell. Something's just off. The egg isn't totally spoiled, not yet. It's just old. The white spreads out way too thin. The yolk breaks way too easily. It's bland. Your omelet comes out tasteless and disappointing, despite your best efforts with cheese and spices. Then you get to those last 5 eggs in the back of the carton. You end up throwing them out because you have no idea how old they really are. The shells all look the same, but you can't trust what's inside anymore. So where's the savings when 1/6 of your purchase lands in the trash? You paid for 30 eggs and you only ate 25. The math just doesn't work in your favor. So what do smart shoppers do instead? They buy free-range or pasture-raised eggs, the ones with cartons that proudly state how the hens were raised. Yes, these eggs cost more up front, but just look at the color of the yolk, a deep, confident orange instead of a pale, weak yellow. Taste the difference when you make scrambled eggs. It's enormous and immediately noticeable. You should also buy smaller quantities, a dozen, maybe 18 at the most. Fresher eggs are healthier eggs, tastier eggs, and safer eggs. Your breakfast deserves ingredients that were laid recently, not stored for weeks on end in a warehouse. If you want real savings on quality eggs, look for local producers. Check out the farmers markets in your area. Search online for local farms that deliver. Often, their prices are similar to the higher-end eggs at the grocery store, but the quality is in a completely different league. You know exactly where your food is coming from. You're supporting local agriculture instead of industrial factory farming operations. A 30